Hi, it's Dave, and welcome to Chapter 2, the Appointment Center Training. So, one of the things that in my School of Entrepreneurship that I've been doing is, we created our vision, mission, and values statement. And I'm going to pretend like you've never heard of this kind of a statement, but this truly identifies who we are at Fitch Construction and the Fitch Design Studio. So our vision is a world filled with fantastic, let me say that again, fantastic home improvements for our clients to relax and enjoy life in. Our mission is to equip and empower our team of Fitch professionals to deliver breakthrough performance every day, giving our clients a wow experience. And our values are quality workmanship, teamwork, trust, education, and growth. So I love that. Breakthrough performance every day. Okay, so I'll set this aside for now. So we ended Chapter 1 talking a little bit about building blocks. All right, and building blocks are a really great way for you guys to see how you fit into the company. So I also brought in business as a machine, and you can see that there's in business as a machine, there's a marketing goal, a marketing gear, there's a sales gear, there's a production gear, an accounting gear, an office gear, and here is where you guys are, in the appointment center. All right, you see that that production and sales gears are about the same size, and then you see the size. But all of these gears are connected. All of these gears are really, really important. There's not one gear. If we took out this gear, if this gear stopped working, the whole machine would stop, right? So that's important that we're really, really focused on today on training on the appointment center. And this nicely gets right into the building blocks that we ended last chapter with. All right. So I kind of did a little thing in preparation of today's meeting is I reversed the building blocks themselves. So remember last chapter we talked about, this is marketing, the appointment center, sales, and then production. Well, I kind of, to go through this little discussion on leads and appointments and all that good stuff, I started with production. And so I'm starting with production, so let's say that Fitch Construction wants to do $1.5 million or $1,500,000 in we'll call it windows, doors, and skylights. That's one of our services that we offer. We have 3 services: window, door, and skylights. We have sunrooms and outdoor living, and then we have kitchen, bath, and basement finishing. 3 divisions. So we're talking about skylights, windows, and doors today. And so we want to do $1.5 million in skylights, windows, and doors. And let's just say that to do that amount, we have three construction crews that can actually do that in the production arm. All right. Well, if we're saying that assume, okay, for example purposes, that the average skylight, window, and door job is $10,000. All right, so $10,000, and let's just say a salesperson goes out and they're given 10 leads, and of those 10 leads they actually get a signed contract for 2 of them. Or we could boil that down and say, well, that's 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 is about 20%. Well, we've looked at kind of the company as an average, and really we're more like 1 out of 6, which is about 16.6%. So now we can actually do marketing, which is the gear that the appointment center is closest to. That we can take $1,500,000, divide that by $10,000, our average sale, and that generates about 150 jobs. Pretty basic, right? Well, we can say, well, 150 jobs divided by that closing rate, well, that equals about 903 set appointments. Those are appointments, we call them an issued appointment. A salesperson can go knock on the door, and there's someone there to talk to us about an interest in their skylight window and door in this example. So pretty basic stuff, but this is a good way for you guys to think about how you tie into the appointment center. So we take about 903 set appointments. We put about 5% on there for, hey, someone cancels an appointment, or there's an illness in the family or something happened, they have to reschedule. By the way, you guys should be thinking that's the recycler's role to call back. Okay? That's what we talked about, the 6 roles of the appointment center. So about 5% of 93, about 949 set appointments is what we need to get to $1.5 million worth of sales. Okay. Well, 949 divided by 12 months, that's about 79 appointments a month. That's about 20 appointments per week. Okay, so that's kind of how the numbers go. And actually this kind of goes back nicely into our sales. If each salesperson had 5 appointments or 1 appointment a day to go on, well, 5, say 4 into 20, that's about 5 appointments a week. All right, so that salesperson could go on, and so that's all this stuff kind of really starts to really stick. I'm asking you guys just to really focus in on, this is the importance, and it is a numbers game. That's why we pay commission to the appointment center staff, so that you're able to focus in on, I need to get this many appointments, and we're going to have fun contests in the appointment center. Where you can say, hey, I'm looking forward to winning the contest. I'm gonna book 50 appointments this week, or whatever. And then as well, maybe we have the mirror award, the person that's not smiling enough, or something like that. We could do that. We could have some little fun, and that's what it's all about. We really want to make sure that you guys are having fun in the appointment center, because if you're relaxed and having fun and engaged, then the person that you're talking to set the appointment, they're going to be like, wow, this is a really great person, and they really took good care of me, and that's what we want. So overall, this is how it works. These are the basic numbers. I also wanted to talk to you guys about our marketing sources. You don't have to remember this. This is just, again, how the appointment center staffers, how you fit in and why you're so important in the company. So, there's, as you know, there's radio, there's TV, there's referral programs, there's, direct mail pieces, or we may do like a radius mail piece. There's internet or pay-per-click leads, Facebook, social media, home shows. But a big one is the appointment center. So I'm going to switch over this side just so that I'm not blocking anything. So in the appointment center, we may have talked also about asset management. But the appointment center, we have all of these leads and these, these different names or someone's interested in a product or a service that we offer, and they called us at one time, or we received their information at one time. So it's sitting in our CRM, our Market Sharp database. So that's why it's so important for part of these 20 that we need a week, these 20 appointments that we need a week. That's why it's really important to go back and touch those people, those prospects, those inquiries, and letting them know that we're interested in setting up an appointment. Okay, I'm going to switch over again. So hopefully this all makes sense, and this is where you fit in. This is some of our sources of leads, but want to make sure that you know that the appointment center is a source of our marketing, that we are going to go back and contact folks and keep in touch with them. And this is how the marketing center, sales and production, this is how we all kind of gel together, and why each building block is so important. As we grow the company, or we add on another service, say sunrooms and outdoor living, we know that, well, we have to have more salespeople. Well, we have to have more people in the appointment center calling. Right? As we want to grow this company, we have to make sure that that we have the staff to do that. So Very, very important. Okay, so here's some basic definitions. A lot of this stuff I'm getting right from Leads, which is the Yoho group. And so a lot of these things I'm just taking right out of, if there's ever a word that you don't understand, you can always reference this book. We have several copies around the office and the appointment center. But one of the two big ones is the word lead. What is a lead? A lead is not an appointment. A lead is an inquiry or an interest in a product or service that we offer. Someone may call in and say, well, yeah, I'm interested in a sunroom, but we don't want an appointment right now. We just want some information. Well, we would say, great. Well, let's capture that information, your address, and all that good stuff, and we'll send that out to you. And we can also invite you into our showroom in Fairport. So that's what a lead is. They might not necessarily be interested in an appointment, but they have expressed an interest in a product or service that we offer. An appointment is a confirmed lead for a specific time and date issued to a sales department. So it's called the issued appointment, but how we talk about an appointment is a confirmed lead for a specific time and date issued to the sales department. So if we say to the sales department, hey, we gave you guys 903 appointments, then they can start to calculate their closing ratio and some other things, some other KPIs, key performance indicators. So the appointment center also has KPIs. We need so many leads per week per day. So a KPI might be just number of leads this week. And so you'll hear more about that later. So there's a couple of words, glossary terms on page 1-2. You'll see words like self-generated leads, leads which are developed directly by the salesperson via direct solicitation or referrals. You may hear the word one-legger. Okay, so this kind of gets into a different thing, that when remember I said in chapter 1 that a poorly set lead is worse than having a lead at all. So a one-legger, I'll just read it, is when all interested parties are not present at the designated appointed time. That's a one-legger. So it's really the craft of the business is up to the appointment center person to have all decision makers at that meeting. And there's actually a script that goes along with this. How often do we go to someone's home and we're like, oh, okay, great. Well, how did you want to finish the back wall of your home? Drywall? Did you want to do like a knotty pine? Did you want to do some stonework? Well, I don't know. You'd have to talk to my husband about that, or you'd have to talk to my wife about that. Well, shouldn't she be there at that meeting? Well, of course. Okay, well, maybe talk about the size of a space, the size of a basement space, or did you want to make this window into a bay window or a bow window to really capture that backyard view? Well, you'd have to talk to my wife about that, or my girlfriend, or whatever. So we really want all people that have any decisions to be made on this project, we want them at that meeting. And that can be one of the most difficult things to do in setting an appointment. There are different ways to ask about that. One of the ways that we do that is we'll turn around and we'll say, now besides yourself, sir, are there any other decision makers or any other property owners that should be at this meeting? And we ask that as part of the questionnaire that we go to because we want them at that meeting. Okay, so many different things happen when we're trying to get some key things out of to best serve our customer. If we know all decision makers, then we're able to give them what they want. Okay, just to get it out there, sometimes there's roadblocks. We call to find out, if there are other decision makers, and we get answers like, well, the husband says that I'm just to collect a bunch of estimates and that we're going to figure this out later. Or, no, this is my baby, this is my project, I'm doing it. So we can only press so much. The basic script goes something like this. Well, that's great. So besides yourself, are there any other decision makers or property owners? And they may or may not give you, well, my husband's name is Bob, or my wife's name is Sally, or, my girlfriend's name is this. So we have a basic script that goes something like this. It's really exciting when they design the sunroom on your home and they show you in a rendering what the sunroom would look like attached to your home, or when you're looking out of the sunroom, the virtual sunroom, you get a really great idea of what this room's going to feel like. Okay? Great. Now, there's no charge for this. It's almost like an architect's coming to your house. All we ask is that all decision makers or property owners be at the meeting, okay? Notice how I raise my voice. They know I'm asking a question. So besides yourself, are there any other property owners or decision makers? Okay, great. And that's important. Another way to say this is, we don't charge for this free design consultation. It's almost like an architect's coming to your home. It's going to only take between 45 and 90 minutes. It really depends on how many questions that you have. So just to be on the safe side, can you set aside a couple hours for this meeting? Okay, great. That's awesome. Our guy can't be there, our designer can't be there all night. He's got a family. He has to go home and eat, okay? So it lets the prospect know that we're human beings too. To best serve our customers, though, we really need to have enough time for the meeting. We really need to know all the decision makers, who we're going to see. When we've called on some younger people that have their first home, oftentimes they want their father to be there. Okay, well then we should know his name. Or here's another example. They've had some insurance work. A tree fell down on their sunroom or crashed their skylight or something bad happened. Well, then we need to know the insurance company's name. What's their contact information? What's the claim number? Those things are important too. So if we know all the information, then we're better able to set what? A great appointment. And that's what we want. We want our salesperson to go out, best serve the customer, get them the price they need with the best solution, and ask for the sale and make the sale. So that's how that works. Okay, so we're going to get into, in our next chapter, we're going to get more in the nuts and bolts of exactly what to say. Once we go through our thank you for calling the Fitch Design Studio, how may I direct your call? Well, I'm interested in the sunroom. Okay, well, my name is David Cerrone, and I can help you with that. And your name is? Well, my name is Bob. And Bob, your last name is? My last name is Brown. Okay, Bob. And just in case we get disconnected, the telephone number where you're calling from is? Great. And we write that number down. Okay. Hey, Bob, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then we're going to set you up for an appointment. Okay? So what does that do? We know that really opens their mind up, that we have a few brief questions to go over, and then we're going to get them an appointment. So in our next chapter, we're going to actually go through what it says on those questionnaires. So we have a questionnaire for sunrooms and room additions. We have a questionnaire for window, door, and skylights. We have a questionnaire for basement finishing and kitchen and bath questionnaires as well. So it allows the person in the appointment center to sound like a pro. You're going through, you're answering questions. You should know what it says on the questionnaire. And so we'll make those questionnaires available to you to review, and you should be reviewing them in part of your notebook. Okay, I wanted to end with this last point, and that is it gets to your commitment to the craft. And there's so much to do in the appointment center. There's so much to do in each of the crafts. There's so much to do in sales, all the different things to memorize and the products to know and how to best serve people. There's so many things to do if you're a carpenter or you're in your production management, materialists, or framing rafter roof. Okay, there's so many things for us to learn. If you're watching this video, you're working in the appointment center. And that is a craft. Understanding people and best serving them on the telephone or by internet, by emailing, what have you, that's a craft. You know, when I began my career, I was 14 years old, and my uncle took me under his wing, and he started teaching me, you know, how to be a carpenter, how to be a construction guy. And we did a lot of work at RIT and Hillside Children's Center and Hickey Freeman. And you know, as a young man, you know, we're all born with this little thing called pride. And you know, there's sometimes a little thing in us that we know best, or I'm going to do it my way. I mean, that's what gives us creativity. That's what gives us direction in life, is that we think and we do things best as we think we're going to do them. So I started working for my uncle, and who is a master craftsman. He's actually a graduate of the School for American Craftsmen, a true cabinet maker. And so he expected basic things from me as a 14-year-old. He expected that I would be on time. And his on time was usually 15 minutes ahead of time. So if I was supposed to be there at 8 o'clock, I was there at 7:45. I was to be ready, have something to eat. I was prepared for the day's worth of work. Basic things. And when I was late, and I was late a few times, when I was 16 or 17 years old, he let me know that he was disappointed in me being late. And so these were some of the basic things. If he was away on a meeting, I was to make sure that the work site was immaculate, that it was swept and cleaned. If I had it swept and cleaned and I had nothing else to do, then I swept and cleaned some more. That was how he taught me that I was always to be doing, right? I was always to be doing something. And so that's kind of what I wanted to challenge you guys to think about, is that you're always to be doing something. There are so many leads in our MarketSharp, our customer service management system, that have not heard from us in a year. I mean, I cringe when I think about that here's someone that called in, they had to cancel the appointment because they got ill or something happened, life happened, and no one ever called them back. We never got to see that person. Or here's another one. We did a beautiful skylight or a kitchen or a bath or a basement. We did something for them a year ago, and no one followed up to say, hey, are you still enjoying that new basement or that new sunroom? That is the role of the appointment center. That is what they do. It's a commitment to that craft. I think you can spend a lifetime in learning more and more about, you know, how to deal and talk with people and best serve them. So what you guys do is the highest calling. You know, I always thought that, you know, as a young man, that, you know, maybe I should be involved with the ministry, or, you know, I always kind of felt bad that I didn't become like a pastor or something like that. And in my school of entrepreneurship, I realized that this is my highest calling. That this is truly what you guys are doing is a great thing. So your commitment, your attitude towards it, when you walk in the door each day, that is everything. It's just like, you know what? My feet are on the ground. I'm seeing color, or I'm able to breathe. You know what? It's going to be a good day. It's never going to be that bad. Am I going to make mistakes? Are you going to make mistakes? Absolutely. We're human beings. But we should feel really great. And you can hear that on the phone. When someone says, thank you for calling the Fitch Design Studio. How may I direct your call? That comes out clear as a bell. So I challenge you to stay committed and make a commitment that we're going to answer the phone Dave's way. We're going to run the appointment center Dave's way, and be committed to learning as much as you can. And that would be just my definition of your highest calling. Thanks. Look forward to seeing you in Chapter 3.